What is Laver Cup? On today's episode of Coffee Break Tennis, Mr. Goat's going to drink some milk, I'm going to drink some coffee, and we're going to talk about what exactly is Laver Cup, when is it, who's playing in it, and how do you win it? I want to win that cup. So, real quick, if you don't know who I am, I'm Matt Bradshaw, the host of Coffee Break Tennis. We are brought to you by Crunch Time Coaching. Crunch Time Coaching is one of the biggest, baddest, most awesome online tennis instruction sites in the world. It's a YouTube channel. It's on this channel, brought to you by Peter Freeman, one of the best tennis coaches in the world. So if you want to work on your tennis game, check this channel out and watch some of our instructional videos. You can work on literally anything you can think of in your tennis game right here at Crunch Time Coaching. A tennis player's ultimate resource, a tennis player's best friend. Like I said, I'm Matt Bradshaw. This is my cat, Mr. Goat, named after the great Roger Federer, Mr. Goat, who inspired me to start this show, Coffee Break Tennis, because I love tennis and I love Roger Federer. I am the biggest Roger Federer fan in the world. I am the king of the Fed heads, which are the people that wear these RFs on their heads, because we're Fed heads. So, this is the brainchild of Roger Federer and Rod Laver. The Laver Cup, it honors the great champion Rod Laver, which, by the way, I'll be telling you guys in the future more about TennisCon. It's coming in October, and I got a little surprise for you. Rod Laver is going to be there. I'm going to be there too. Maybe we'll get to talk a little bit about Roger Federer and Laver Cup. But let's get into what Laver Cup is. It's Europe versus the world. It happens every year like Davis Cup. A lot of people compare it to Ryder Cup from golf. And they've got 6 players. 6 of the best players from Europe, 6 of the best players from the world. And it turns out this year the world is represented mostly by North American and Australian players. So who do we have on the world team? This year? We've got Jack Sock, Nick Kyrgios, John Isner, Sam Querrey, Francis Tiafoe, and Denis Shapovalov from Canada. There's your North America. Otherwise, we could have just said America. And the captain of the world is John McEnroe. So, of course, it's very fitting. The captain of Europe is Bjorn Borg. And he's got on his roster Rafael Nadal, Roger Federer, Marin Cilic, Dominic Thiem, Alexander Zverev, and Tomas Berdych. So when is this thing? It's this weekend. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 3 days of tennis. Excuse me, Mr. Goat. Let's peruse through the schedule. And he's gone. Day 1, Friday, September 22nd. This Friday, we got 3 singles matches and 1 doubles match. And that's how they're going to do it every day. Matches 1, 2, and 3 for the day are singles, and match 4 is doubles. Now, the scoring system is a little confusing because on day 1, matches are only worth 1 point. On day 2, matches are worth 2 points, and on day 3, matches are worth 3 points. So it kind of gives the captain a little bit of a dilemma there because you think, okay, on day 1, we want to get off to a good start, but we can only go up 4-0. The teams are playing to get to 13 points because if you add it up from the 4 matches a day, 1 point, 2 points, and then worth 3 points on day 3, it totals out to be 24 points. The winning team will get 13 points. Now, if we get to day 3, and everyone I'm sure is hoping this would happen, it would be great, we have 12 all tie. They play one last doubles match to decide it and get to that 13th point. Now, another wrinkle to this is players are required to play at least 1 singles match between day 1 and day 2, Friday and Saturday. But players are not allowed to play singles more than twice over the whole weekend. And then for doubles, at least 4 of the 6 players from each team must play doubles. And no doubles combination is allowed to be paired up more than once. So we can't have Roger and Rafa team up for Team Europe and play Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Unless Roger and Rafa teamed up, played Friday, Saturday, and then we get to the 12 all tie on Sunday, then you can use anyone you want for that final deciding doubles match. Be very cool, of course, if it was Roger and Rafa playing against whoever McEnroe comes up with from the team world.
Answer my question!
So is this worth any points, ranking points? No, it's not. Should we care? Should we watch it? I say yes. I think it's interesting. And I think if you're a Fed head like me and you love Roger Federer, this is something Federer really wants to succeed. So let's give our boy Roger a chance and watch this thing this weekend. What's the worst that could possibly happen?
And here's the racket.
So So yes, this thing is going to happen every year. They really want it to catch on and become like a tradition. Right now we got a little 3-year contract basically. McEnroe is going to be the captain of the world team for 3 years. Borg's going to be the captain of Europe for 3 years. And every year it's going to alternate locations, of course. And every year it's going to happen 2 weeks after the US Open, except for the years where we have Summer Olympics. So what is this Laver Cup? I've explained how it works, I've explained where it is and when it is, but it might still be confusing, and I understand. It's new, it's different. But I think what they have on the Laver Cup website really does the best job to explain it. So keep in mind, this is a brainchild of Roger Federer. And it says here on the website, it's about honoring a legend, Rod Laver. The Laver Cup was created to honor the greatest player of the 20th century, Rod Laver. Laver was known for his speed and thunderous left arm, which earned him the nickname Rocket. He soared above the sport, both as an amateur and a professional. Of course, if you don't know this about Rod Laver, his biggest claim to fame, what is most amazing about him, this is something Roger and Rafa have never done once, the calendar year Grand Slam, where you hold the Australian Open, the French Open, Wimbledon, and the US Open. You win all 4 of those in the same year. He's done it twice. Rod Laver, the Rocket, did that twice. This is the best part. Anyone who saw Rocket Rod Laver play will remember his power, speed, accuracy. They also saw a humble man who knew the work required for greatness and the respect and love that needed to be shown to opponents and the sport itself. It remains an internal spring of inspiration for future generations. Sounds a lot like Roger and Rafa. So I think it's great that these guys are involved and that Roger helped come up with this idea. So for those of you out there who worry, what will happen to tennis? What will happen to our great sport, popularity of tennis, after Roger and Rafa retire? They can't play forever. But things like this, I think, are going to go a long way to inspiring, just like they said there, an eternal spring of inspiration for future generations. Honoring the memory of a Rod Laver. Paying the respect to these guys who had so much respect for the game and did so much to make tennis great, to make tennis popular around the world. It's beautiful that Roger and Rafa are involved in it, and I'm sure they're going to stay involved in it for many, many years to come. So let's all give it a chance this weekend and see what the Laver Cup is all about. I'll be tweeting about it, of course, from the Coffee Break Tennis Studios, and maybe I'll even do another video about it this weekend. I mean, I guess I have to. Anytime we see Roger on TV hitting a tennis ball, I got to get on here and talk about it. I just can't resist. Alright guys, that's it for me today. Thanks for watching Coffee Break Tennis. Sorry Mr. Goat isn't here to say goodbye. He's actually got to go take care of some business upstairs. Some scratching, litter boxing, eating, sleeping. Cat stuff.